Back now to the new mask guidance from the CDC. The guidelines allow the fully vaccinated to leave their masks off in most settings, talking about outdoors and indoors. This announcement was encouraging, but also somewhat confusing. So to sort that out, that's why we want to invite clinical nurse specialist Alice Benjamin to join us this morning to answer some of your questions. Good morning.
Good morning, Danielle. I'm ready to talk about this. I'm really excited.
Yeah, me too. You know, when the CDC made that announcement yesterday, I was in a public place and everyone started taking off their mask and they were celebrating, and it made me a little nervous. I was like, hold on. You know, what is your feeling about the CDC's recommendation? Is it happening at the right time or is it too soon?
Right. So these recommendations are just that, recommendations, guidelines. They are not mandates. And it is based on the science. So we know that our death rates have been coming down, our infection rates coming down. We know more about the disease process, that people who are fully vaccinated are very unlikely to get sick and die from COVID, and they're very unlikely to spread coronavirus. However, we don't want to jump the gun. So this was kind of like dad saying you can have ice cream and cake for dinner, but then our local state and officials saying, hold on. So it's like mom saying, after you've had your dinner. So the message is there, but we still got a lot of work to do before we can safely implement these things.
All right, in states and local governments, they still have to sign off on the CDC recommendations. That hasn't happened here yet, but do you think it should?
I think it should, and I think that it will. So the reason that we have to pump our brakes here in Los Angeles County, and every respective county and state will have to do this, is because we have guidelines, we have science, but now how do we roll this out? How do we make sure that we do this safely? Because for the last more than a year, we put in systems and processes to make sure people are wearing masks, hand washing, and social distancing. So we've ingrained that into the public. So now we can't just flip the switch and expect for people to know exactly what to do. We have to change some of the regulations and get people primed and ready with the messaging, the language, and the processes to do this.
Yeah, and make it very clear. So the big question is, how will we all know who's vaccinated and who's not vaccinated? You know, the new recommendations are asking people to follow the honor system. But do you think at some point we're going to have to show proof that we are fully vaccinated?
For this to roll out, my suspicion is that we're going to have some system in place. So right now, if you've been fully vaccinated, and fully vaccinated means you've completed your series and it's been 2 weeks and you have your card for proof. So we have this. However, these look like they can be easily replicated. So what many states have is immunization registry. So we have that here in California. We primarily use it for children and their vaccines. So our state registry is going to be down this weekend. Hopefully that they'll be working on some of this, that they'll be working in a process to work in the COVID vaccine and actually include and make space for all of the adults who have their vaccine. Because honestly, this is only going to work if we do it safely, and the honor system's not going to be enough. We saw what happened last year when we were just expecting people to do the right thing. And although most Americans will, we want to be safe and implement this safely. So we'll need some type of checks and balances, which will be the immunization registry.
Yeah. Well, this is exciting and a way to move forward, you know, but to take baby steps as well and to make the recommendations very, very clear. All right, Nurse Alice Benjamin, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.